fun spooky, my favorite kind of spooky. Let's go inside. All right, so first off, let's look at the front. We have a beware of ghost window, a door, this crooked old fence, a window that's broken, a balcony window that's boarded up, and yeah, a balcony, how fun is that? Then if we turn it and go back here, we've got this creepy bell tower or belfry, and it has a secret entrance at the top and in that window at the back. I like the details, like for instance, that you can see where the roof would be damaged in a normal house, the shingles would be coming off, and they put that on there. I thought that was really fun. A lot of the boards on this are kind of warped and not lined up. I really like that. The floorboards are like that too. A lot of thought went into this toy, and whoever designed it did a wonderful job. Let's open it up and see what's inside, shall we? All right, here it is, you guys, from the early 70s, I think 1974, made by Romper Room and then Hasbro. This is the Weebles Haunted House. Now, there are some extras in here. The tricycle is not from this house. The rocking chair the witch sits in is not from this house. The extra green bed, there was just one green bed in this playset. The white bed is not from this house. And the Invisible Man Weeble is not from this house. I just had these extra things and I just really enjoyed playing with them, and my kids do too. So let's get started, shall we? Let's have our scared boy and girl Weeble. Let's use our scared boy and girl to look in the house. So first thing we've got is this bookshelf. And there's a dial on the outside of the house, so you can turn it without even putting your hand in there. And it spookily turns into a funhouse mirror to scare the little Weebles. In the next part, there is a bedroom. And of course, these Weebles can't sleep, because who sleeps in a haunted house? I don't know. Nobody that I know of. Then up top here is an attic, and I've got my Invisible Man Weeble. This was a mail-in promo, so a long time ago you could save like your receipts or your UPC codes and mail them into companies and get free things. And so this was a Scotch tape promo for the Invisible Man. And then there's a little trunk here that opens, and bats fly out of it. But that's okay, because there's gold in it. Maybe they could use some of this gold to fix the roof. I don't know. Oh, and I want you to see the floorboards in the bedroom right here. See how they're kind of patched and coming up? That's very, very cool detail. I like that a lot. All right, let's go back down here. So we did this room. Oh, there's a witch. Oh my goodness, look at this, you guys. I got my little Weeble witch. She's in a rocking chair, which is kind of redundant because Weebles rock and rocking chairs rock, and we just rocking all over the place. She's got her black kitten, probably named Spooky or something like that. And there's a sofa, some creepy stuff. And the floor on these rooms looks like a braided carpet, which again is a really cool detail. All right, going up here, we have a little den. And it looks totally and completely normal, right? Nothing to be afraid of here. I don't know, why is the fireplace open? Oh my gosh. Ah! My ghost flew out of the house. So there's a little slide in the belfry where the ghost can come down and he can haunt your room secretly, I guess. He can pop in and say hi. But look, he looks like a friendly kind of Casper ghost. I don't think he's a mean ghost. There's also a little room up here in this attic, and I added this bed. I thought it looked like a little ghost bed, so I thought that'd be really cute for the ghost to have a bed. He can come in the attic too if you put him in the top of the belfry. Let's watch. There he is. He came to say hello to us. He's a pretty cute little ghost. He's my favorite. And he glows in the dark. I didn't charge him. I probably should. But he glows in the dark. And so does the Invisible Man. His hat, his gloves and shoes glow in the dark. So, all right, you guys, there you have the Weeble house tour. Let's go make some art. Hello, my most amazing artists. So now that you've toured the Weebles haunted house, we're gonna make some ghostly art for Halloween. I went around my house and I found all the ghosts I could find. So I have this Playmobil guy who's dressed up in a ghost costume from Scooby-Doo. They have these at Walmart right now, you guys, and it comes with Shaggy, Scooby, and this guy, and I think it's only like $10. It's Playmobil. And this guy glows in the dark, which, ooh, be still my heart. That's like my favorite thing ever. This pencil sharpener I bought several years ago. I had lots of these and ended up giving a lot of them away to my students who loved it so much. Wish I could find more of them. This is my last one, and it glows in the dark. This is an old Avon promo for a chapstick. There was a chapstick that went in here, and his name is Gilroy the Ghost. He glows in the dark. Can you see a theme here? Here's our Weebles ghost friend that also glows in the dark, and the Invisible Man that glows in the dark. So we need colored pencils and black construction paper or any kind of black paper, and we're gonna just have some fun drawing ghosts today. So let me get sat down and we'll get busy. All right. Okay, sometimes that happens. Do not be alarmed. Kind of pull your colored pencils out where you can see them, because we want to be picking a lot of pastel colors. And if I bump the camera, I'm really sorry. I'm doing my best, because those are what show up the best on the paper. So I'm going to move everything, and if you will just use one piece of paper at a time on a hard surface, you'll get better coloring, because if it's cushioned, it tends to burnish it and not color it as well. So I'm going to start drawing my ghosts. I'm going to try this white colored pencil. I don't know how good it is. We've had some struggles with these in our class. So let's just see here. Now, if you're struggling to draw, I've told you before, you can trace. There is no harm in that. Oh, it's not too bad. I hope it's showing up on the camera. So I'm just gonna make his little arms. And you guys, I'm just looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if I make a mistake, I just go on. Yeah, like I made him a little bit too wide, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be looking exactly like that thing. And I'm just gonna kind of add the little details of his ghostly sheet. And he's got the saddest eyes. I'm really thinking that maybe he's just hungry. He needs some ghost toasties or some French ghost toast. All right, now I'm gonna put that yellow down and probably the white down and go for a yellow to do some of the coloring. Guys, when you work in color, you need to think about layers. Layers are what's gonna make your art really shine. And I'm probably shaking the camera really bad, and for that I apologize. So let me hold the camera. Hopefully it's not shaking too bad while I color. I'm trying to hold the table kind of still. So my first layer is yellow, but this ghost is kind of a greenish yellow. So, you know, you probably aren't gonna have the exact color of whatever it is you're coloring. So that's when layers really come in handy. And if you'll notice, I'm holding my pencil on the side. I'm getting nice, good coverage that way. You don't really want to use the tip when you're coloring because it will look very scratchy. Now, if that's what you want, go for it, because there's definitely a time and a place for scratchy. But for this, I really want it to be a uniform color because I'm going to be layering it. And I'm just keep turning the colored pencil as it gets worn down. Okay, so there's my first layer. Now I'm gonna go to add a little bit of a light green over this layer. And it might not show up that well. It might, ooh, it is a little bit. So yeah, you think about coloring in layers, then it starts to make a whole lot more sense about how people mix colors. You have to look closely and train your eye to see different colors. You can't just say, oh, that's a white ghost. I mean, you can, but when you're doing color, you have to look at it really closely and say, oh, I see some green in there. I see some blue in that shadow. I see some purple in there. You know, that will really help. Probably not gonna do any shadows on this. All right, and then I'm probably gonna end, let's see, I wanna do the eyes just to give it a little bit of vavoom, because even black shows up on black. You know what, I forgot to do this ghost pupils, so let me go back. If you forgot to do something, that's okay. So I started with yellow, then I went to this light green. Just whatever you do, you want it to be consistent over your picture. Now I'm gonna do a layer of white over this. Hopefully that will bring it all together. Ooh, yeah, and you might have, on that last layer, you might have to kind of get in there and push hard. And it should kind of blend. These aren't the best colored pencils, they're just Crayola colored pencils, and they're just regular old, you know, school grade. With fancier pencils like the Prismacolors we use in class, the blending is a lot easier. But that's okay, you guys don't have to have expensive art supplies to make nice art, trust me. I went all the way through college without using artist grade watercolor, just because I couldn't afford it. I learned how to paint with student grade watercolor. Now it's a better grade than what school grade is, but when I finally bought artist grade watercolor, I could not believe what I had been missing out on. I couldn't believe I'd gone through college, and my degree is in illustration, so I used a lot of watercolor. All right, so now that we're done with this little ghost, not too bad, huh? He's a little greener than I wanted him to be, but still looking pretty spooky. Let's move on to another one. Let's do our Invisible Man Weeble. So I'm actually gonna draw this with the black. Let's see, I don't wanna make him really big. And I've drawn Weebles several times, so I have had some practice at this, so don't be like, how'd you draw that right away, Miss Evans? No, I actually drew this last night. We were having movie night and I was drawing. And let's see, this one I'm gonna start with the green. Just gonna make his little hat. I don't really know what this art is gonna be. I'm just playing. Like, I don't have a specific outcome in mind for this. I'm just drawing my spooky stuff that I had around the house. So you can just play. You don't have to make a masterpiece every time. Even, now I'm going to yellow. Even famous artists didn't make masterpieces every time. Although, wouldn't that be nice? One of my kids said, Mrs. Evans, what would you do if you had a Michelangelo? And I said, well, I'd be a millionaire. Okay, but I'm gonna go over it with the white and see if that brightens it up a little bit. It might not. These Crayola crayon colored pencils don't really like to layer that much. I might have to start with the white. We'll experiment with that one. Then I'm gonna color black all around. And while I'm doing this, you guys, you know, pause it if you want or draw along with me. I'm trying to hold it still for you so you can see. Feel free to draw it too. There's just something about black paper that is really fun this time of the year. We were talking about the days getting shorter, and there's still 24 hours in a day, but the amount of sunlight is getting shorter because of where the sun is in relationship to our part of the earth. And when the days have less sunlight, it gets colder outside because the sun isn't out enough to heat up the earth, and we're not as close to the sun because we're moving around it. The earth is. All right, there's our invisible man. Let me check on our progress on the camera just to make sure you guys can see. Oh, good, okay. All right, let's see. Let's do the ghost Weeble. Another thing you can practice is composition. Like, where should you place things? Where do they look good on a paper? A lot of times odd numbers of things look a lot better than even numbers of things in art. I don't know why, that's just how it is. I'm gonna start with white on this one because I wanna see how I can make it look. So experimenting with your supplies is really important. Figure out what they can do, and then if they do something exciting, use it. Put that in your toolbox. Remember what you did. If you have to write it down, write it down. I do that a lot in my journal. I'll write something down, you know, this color combination is, you know, rose madder plus dahlia purple. And then I can come back to it later and say, oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. That really kind of looks like it's glowing. Ooh, these all kind of look like they're glowing. That's exciting. Okay, now draw the face. I'm gonna tell you something funny while I do this. I drew the face on the actual Weeble too, because a lot of times when you get these toys are really old, the face is worn off. So I just got myself a Sharpie and drew it back on. And you can find images of them online and just copy it. Okay. I'm probably kind of moving the camera because I'm pressing down hard trying to get that black to show up. And I've drawn this a bunch of times, so probably gonna look pretty good right off the bat. There we go. All right, we got 2 ghosts left. We've got our Ghost Sharpener Ghost and our Scooby-Doo Ghost, which are both pretty big ghosts, so I might skip one of them. Oh, we'll see. Let's see. Sorry about that yawn. Let me try the Ghost Sharpener Ghost. I might just do the outlines of them and not color them. I don't want this video to go on forever. That's not fun. It's boring. I got this at an art supply store in our capital city called Porch. And I talked about them in some other videos, and they have wonderful prices. They are not open on the weekend, unfortunately, so I don't get to go there very often. Also, they're way, way up in the city. All right, there's that one, and then I'll draw it. And I've never drawn the Scooby-Doo one, so let's see how I do on this. No, I take that back. I drew it once in my journal. Okay, let's see. So I'm probably gonna start with the head first. And if you make a mistake, just keep going. Chances are nobody's even gonna know. You think about a famous painting like the Mona Lisa, we don't know if that's what she looked like. What if she was really ugly and the artist got paid to make her look beautiful? We have no idea. I don't think we do know. We might. I'm sure there's probably some history somewhere that I could go look up, but I'm just trying to give you an example that, you know, nobody's gonna know half the time if you made a mistake or not. And that's what God made erasers for. Okay, so there's the Scooby-Doo ghost. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. Oh yeah, I wanna do one more thing. I'm gonna write something here. Let's do happy glow ween. And I'll probably color these in later, but my hand is hurting, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun making your own art, and try to do some glow-in-the-dark fun with black paper and light colored pencils. Bye. All right, art friends, I'm back. I could not finish coloring these, so let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and color my Scooby Ghost, and he's very white, so I'm just gonna color it white. And I'm thinking about a journal entry I'm gonna do about Halloween right now. And if you hear any noise, that's my son. He's in the next room. I think he's playing a car racing game. He gets really excited. It's pretty cute. Let's see. So on this one, let's talk about, we're gonna talk about shadows on both of them because the other one has some shadows too. So if you have shadows, that means it's gonna be darker there. Like for instance, underneath the sheet would be darker because as much light would not be getting there. Also, we're gonna have to make a little bit of a line of demarcation where the ghost's mask is and his sheet. So I just didn't color there. I just left it black. What I might do, I might just go in very lightly. And the shadows, I'm not gonna color as hard. I don't want it to be quite as white. See that? I'm just going very gently. And then just regular medium coloring everywhere else. You can also come in with another darker color and add shadows, which is what I'm gonna show you. I might have to stop and sharpen my colored pencil. Let me see. Notice that I am not in a hurry and I'm filling it in. Something I have to tell my art students a lot is make sure you fill it in. Color it completely. Don't just scribble it and say I'm done. That's not your best work. Alright. So again, this is a shadow, so I'm not going to color as hard, just very lightly there. Okay, so let's talk about the shadows from where the sheet kind of has these wrinkles in it. I'm probably just gonna use black. And I'm just gonna go over the white just a little bit. I'm going gently so I can just kind of build the color. So I don't want to all of a sudden have this big nasty black mark on there. Just go very gently. And then you can kind of outline here too. Color in the eyes. I'm gonna go darker for the eyes. And then I can kind of get right up underneath the sheet, right on the edge there. Notice I didn't come all the way out. I just went right where the edge was. That makes it look really realistic, like there's a shadow there. I'm gonna do it here on this side too. I'm just going right up on the edge between the light and the hard coloring. And I'm just gently adding some layers of black and then kind of fading it into the rest of the background. Ooh, that's spooky. Okay, now let's do the pencil sharpener. Let's see, I want to go with white first, and then we're going to go back with some green. Out of all my glow-in-the-dark stuff, he glows the most, this guy. Last night we were playing and I charged these under my lamp on my bedside table, and then we turned out the lights to see which one glowed the most. He was glowing the most. I should have taken a video of that. Maybe I can, and then tonight, and then put it on this video. We'll see, I don't know. So I'm starting with a layer of white, which is actually what's working best for these pencils and this paper. You really have to experiment, guys, with your tools to see what works best, because it's not always the same. Maybe it works best if you do colors then white. Maybe like this one, if you have the Crayola ones, it's working better if I do white and then color on top. It just depends. Oh, by the way, you can do this with crayons too, but I didn't have any crayons. I need to bring some from my art studios at the school. I'm sorry, your art studios. I'm gonna give you some autonomy over your space. Okay, so you can do this with crayons too. I will probably be doing a crayon demo this week. I'm gonna challenge myself to draw a whole bunch of animals. So I'll be using just a regular 24 pack of Crayola crayons for that. All right, so my ghost sharpener, I don't know what the camera's picking up, but he definitely has a green tint and a yellow, but I'm going to go with the green for right now. And I'm just gonna hold my pencil on the side and then work that in. And if you don't like how light it is, just push harder to make it darker. And when you're doing the second layer, you don't have to be nearly as fussy about being neat as you do on the first layer, because you're blending this all together. Let's see. I've got to add some shadows on this one too, so hang on. I'm going to put a little yellow. I really want that to pop. So let's see what the yellow does. And if it doesn't look good, oh well. We can put another layer on it, or we can just let it go. Yeah, remember, just having fun experimenting is where you're gonna learn the most. Not having perfection expectations for yourself. Just having fun and seeing what things can do. And I'm telling you guys, layer, layer, layer. That is the key. Okay. Let's see now how this little guy is gonna turn out. Oh, not bad. Okay, let's get some shadow going. Let me find my black again. His eyes, very shadowy, so let's see. I just wanna do a little bit on the bottom and then kind of fade it. So what I'm doing is I'm going harder around these lines here and then softer, softer, softer till it fades. And I'm doing a little bit of layer too, a couple of layers of black just to kind of get it looking good. All right, now the mouth. Probably not gonna fade the mouth as much. There we go, that's not bad. Table's popping. All right, now this little arm part right here, he came holding a pencil. I actually found the pencil he was holding the other day. I was like, what's this? I forgot about it. So this is like a pencil holder in his little, I don't know, what do you call a ghost arm? A ghost paw? I don't know. All right, there we go. So there's your little layers. Okay guys, I have one joke for you. So when someone dies, they're buried in a coffin. A coffin is also called a casket. So my joke goes like this. What did one casket say to another casket? Is that you, coffin? Ha ha ha. Okay guys, have a happy glow-a-ween and make lots of art, and I want to see it. Bye-bye.